Pagetunes read. From the pages of Pagetunes magazine, monthly number 2, February 2024. Story and artwork by Michael Zigerlig.
Silent Symphony. The classroom buzzed with the eager anticipation of aspiring musicians, and there I sat among them, absorbing every note that flowed from Jim Holloway's fingertips. Jim, our esteemed composer and music instructor, stood before us, a conduit to a mysterious realm, as he unveiled an ancient manuscript, the Silent Symphony. The atmosphere shifted as the haunting melody filled the room, wrapping us in its enigmatic embrace. My name is Emma Harper, a young and ambitious musician under Jim's guidance. The Silent Symphony, with its otherworldly beauty, seized my attention, sparking a curiosity that would shape the course of my destiny. As Jim delved into the depths of the manuscript, deciphering its secrets, an unspoken obsession took root within him. Little did any of us students realize that this captivating composition held a power beyond our understanding. The tendrils of its magic were already weaving their way into the fabric of our lives. It resonated within me, leaving an indelible mark on my musical soul. Jim, impassioned by his discovery, unknowingly set the stage for a journey into the unknown. As the class concluded and my fellow students dispersed, the lingering notes of the Silent Symphony hung in the air, a subtle promise of something extraordinary yet to come. As the days unfolded, the haunting melody clung to the edges of my consciousness. I found myself consumed by its ethereal beauty, echoing through my thoughts, even outside Jim Holloway's classroom. Under his guidance, the ancient manuscript became more than just a musical piece. It transformed into an irresistible enigma that beckoned me to explore its secrets. In the quiet solitude of my own practice space, I found myself experimenting with the tunes of the Silent Symphony. The worn pages of the manuscript seemed to whisper to me, inviting me to unlock the hidden depths of its composition. Each note, each pause, held a mysterious power that I couldn't ignore. Late into the night, I delved into the Silent Symphony, my fingers dancing across the keys in an attempt to perfect its ethereal composition. The room was bathed in a dim glow, shadows playing on the walls as the melody unfolded. The more I played, the more I sensed a subtle shift in the atmosphere. It responded to my experimentation. It wasn't just a musical piece. It was a living entity, adapting to my touch, weaving its magic into the very fabric of the room. Shadows seemed to take on a life of their own, and a quiet energy pulsed through the air, as if the composition itself was responding to my every note. Each session was a dance between the known and the unknown, a journey into a realm where reality blurred with the supernatural. As I experimented with the tunes, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was tiptoeing on the edge of something miraculous. Intrigued by the profound connection I felt with the Silent Symphony, I decided to share its enchanting essence with a larger audience. The decision was made. I would showcase this mystical masterpiece at an upcoming open-air concert. As the moment arrived for me to step onto the stage, a mixture of nerves and excitement coursed through my veins. The hushed murmurs of the audience created a backdrop of anticipation. and the spotlight awaited its cue to illuminate the canvas of my performance. Each step felt like a heartbeat, the echoes of my own anticipation reverberating in my ears. A rush of nerves played a delicate tune within me, but beneath the surface, an undercurrent of excitement propelled me forward. As I reached the center of the stage, I could feel the eyes of the audience fixated upon me, their collective anticipation hanging in the air like a delicate melody. The moment I began to play, the nervous symphony within me transformed into the vibrant overture of a performance that promised to be nothing short of extraordinary. The audience was visibly amazed as I delved deeper into the music, the mesmerizing melody captivating their senses. But then, out of nowhere, a solar eclipse started happening. Chaos ensued. Buildings morphed into surreal structures, their outlines twisting and contorting against the backdrop of the darkened sun. Time itself seemed to lose its grip, as seconds stretched into eternity, and minutes flickered like elusive phantoms. As the disorienting transformation unfolded, a palpable presence emerged, malevolent entities drawn forth from the shadows by the haunting melody I had unwittingly unleashed. Despite my fervent attempts to cease playing, I found myself powerless against the relentless compulsion. Therefore, I played the symphony to its haunting conclusion on the grand piano, its polished surface gleaming softly in the subdued light of the solar eclipse. My body became a mere vessel, ensnared by forces beyond mortal understanding. Eerie figures materialized, their forms flickering like shadows on the edge of perception. The once familiar world now bore the fingerprints of an otherworldly intrusion, and I found myself at the nexus of an unraveling reality. Desperation clawed at me as I realized the consequences of my performance. The Silent Symphony had torn open a gateway. Inhabitants of that realm, fueled by chaos, spilled into our reality like ink seeping into water. The malevolent beings, drawn to the discordant notes, sought to perpetuate the chaos I had unintentionally summoned. The stage, bathed in the dim glow of the eclipse, became an ominous canvas for the unfolding chaos. Shadows danced with an unnatural fervor, and the very air seemed charged with an otherworldly energy. The initial disorientation gave way to a sense of impending dread. The stage twisted and contorted like a grotesque sculpture, the once familiar now distorted and nightmarish. Time itself played tricks, causing seconds to stretch into agonizing eternities. From the depths of this abyss emerged unimaginable creatures, their forms defying earthly logic. Tentacles writhed, sharp teeth gnashed, and thousands of eyes fixated on the horrified audience. The stage, once a realm of artistic expression, now transformed into a battleground where chaos reigned. The creatures, shape-shifting monstrosities of pure malevolence, tore through the audience with ruthless efficiency. Panic erupted like a storm. People, caught in the grip of this unholy assault, became mere playthings for the entities. Their futile attempts to flee met with gruesome consequences. The once packed performance space descended into a scene of unspeakable horror. Some managed to escape, their terrified faces etched with the trauma of witnessing the unimaginable. Others, not as fortunate, fell victim to the relentless onslaught of the monstrous invaders. As I stood amidst the chaos, the weight of responsibility pressed down on me like a heavy shroud. The Silent Symphony, a melody of beauty, had become a bearer of global catastrophe. The weight of responsibility pressed down on me as I understood the magnitude of my actions. Panic and fear gripped my heart, but amidst the turmoil, a determination emerged. I knew that to set things right, I had to seek out Jim Holloway, the very person who had introduced me to the Silent Symphony. Months had passed, and the crawling chaos had spread around the world. No place was truly safe. Amidst the wreckage of a once thriving city, Jim Holloway and I scoured the remnants, searching for clues within the desolation wrought by the Silent Symphony. As we explored the remains of a once grand library, a tattered ancient tome caught our attention. Its brittle pages held cryptic symbols and forgotten knowledge, and within its annotations, we unearthed the revelation that the Silent Symphony was aptly named. The tome revealed that the Silent Symphony acted as a kind of sonic dog whistle, with a silent frequency beneath the audible notes. These inaudible tones acted as a lure, attracting the malevolent entities to our realm. The audible melody played during performances was merely a fabricated cover, disguising the silent undercurrent that beckoned the creatures from the parallel dimension. This newfound knowledge struck a chord of realization within us. The Silent Symphony's insidious nature went beyond the audible realm, operating like a stealthy predator, drawing the creatures through an imperceptible frequency. The ruins themselves seemed to respond to our newfound knowledge, shadows taking on a darker presence, as if acknowledging the secrets we now held. Jim proposed a daring theory. What if playing the Silent Symphony backward could act as a counter-harmony, a reverse melody that might seal the portals and banish the monstrous entities? The idea held a glimmer of hope in the midst of the overwhelming chaos that surrounded us. We retreated to a relatively intact section of the city, set up a makeshift stage amidst the ruins, and armed ourselves with instruments. With trepidation and anticipation, we began to play the Silent Symphony in reverse, the notes reverberating through the desolate landscape. The haunting melody, now transposed into an otherworldly cadence, filled the air. But despite our repeated attempts, the malevolent entities and the chaotic portals showed no signs of abating. The Silent Symphony, it seemed, was an enigma that defied our attempts to manipulate it. The very fabric of reality continued to fray, and the monstrous creatures persisted in their relentless assault, undeterred by our musical efforts. Frustration and a sense of helplessness crept in as we grappled with the limitations of our theory. The idea that playing the Silent Symphony backward could be the key to closing the portals had proven futile. The malevolent forces, drawn by the silent undercurrent of the composition, appeared immune to our attempts to reverse the melody. As the world crumbled around us, governments vanished, and mighty militaries succumbed to the relentless assault of the alien creatures. Survivor camps became fleeting beacons of hope, each one systematically annihilated by the extraterrestrial monstrosities. Humanity teetered on the brink of extinction, venturing through the desolation, witnessing the terraforming of the planet itself, the air humming with an otherworldly energy, and the ground pulsating with newfound vitality. we couldn't escape the harsh reality of the transformed world. Survivor groups faced not only the creatures, but also a haunting transformation into human-alien hybrids. We felt the change within us as the chaotic forces reshaped our very beings. The mutated survivors wandered the landscape, grotesque hybrids that mirrored the twisted order of the Silent Symphony. In the midst of this metamorphosis, a peculiar understanding dawned. The chaos had its rules, its own symphony. The symphony wasn't just a destructive melody. It held the key to an eerie order. The mutated survivors, ourselves included, found a strange symbiosis with the alien forces. As our bodies changed, so did our comprehension of the supernatural discord that gripped the world. Amid this twisted reality, a revelation surfaced within our mutating minds. The Silent Symphony, when played backward, could restore order. Yet, the solution came with an additional complexity. It wasn't solely about the notes. It was about the convergence of melody and location. The very spot where the Silent Symphony was first played held a unique significance. The counter-harmony needed to be played at its origin, a ritual to close the portals and halt the cataclysmic chaos. Driven by this newfound understanding, we embarked on a perilous journey back to the birthplace of the Silent Symphony. We maneuvered through the remnants of once thriving cities, avoiding herds of alien creatures by hiding in tight spots for hours at a time. The world seemed to conspire against us, shadows pulsating with the remnants of the chaotic symphony. As we neared the stage, the air thick with anticipation, the very ground beneath our feet seemed to hum with a dissonant energy. Creatures lurked around, their grotesque forms a testament to the twisted order that had gripped the world. With each step, we tread carefully. Finally, reaching the stage, a daunting sight awaited us. Creatures patrolling the area, their alien forms creating a menacing barrier between us and the origin of the Silent Symphony. The gravity of our mission weighed heavily on us, and a shared determination forged our path forward. In a moment of selfless sacrifice, Jim, my companion through this harrowing journey, took it upon himself to divert the attention of the creatures. Running and shouting, he led them away from the stage, creating a window of opportunity for me to perform the melody backward. His bravery was a beacon of hope in the midst of despair. As Jim's shouts echoed in the distance, I positioned myself with a flute in hand. The haunting melody played in reverse, each note a counter-harmony that resonated with the essence of the Silent Symphony. The air crackled with energy as I poured my soul into the performance. Meanwhile, Jim's sacrifice unfolded in the periphery. The creatures, drawn by his taunts, pursued him with an insatiable hunger. I could hear the desperate screams, the clash of chaos against his valiant efforts. His sacrifice became a symphony of its own, a tragic crescendo that harmonized with my desperate performance. As I reached the final notes, the world around me seemed to shudder. The portals, once open and inviting chaos, began to close. The creatures let out agonizing shrieks as they disintegrated into the very fabric of the transformed world. With the portal sealed, the remnants of humanity began to demutate. The alien influence receded, and the world started to reclaim its earthly essence. Earth, wounded and scarred, emerged from the chaos, though the rebuilding of civilization would take decades, maybe even centuries. In the aftermath, I stood alone on the silent stage, the echoes of the reversed melody fading into the air. Jim's sacrifice, a poignant note in the symphony of chaos, resonated in the void he left behind. The world, now free from the malevolent forces, lay in quiet anticipation of a future where the remnants of humanity would strive to rebuild from the ruins of the Silent Symphony.
If you've been captivated by the magic of this audiobook, here's how you can immerse yourself even further and support the creation of more enthralling tales for your enjoyment. Unlock the ultimate listening journey with a yearly subscription on pagetunes.com. No interruptions, ad-free, and exclusive access to the full library of audiobooks and ebooks. Download and enjoy captivating stories offline, anytime, anywhere. Whether through subscription or individual purchases, you play a vital role in bringing more enchanting stories to life. Explore the merch store. From cozy hoodies to stylish mugs and much more, every purchase directly contributes to crafting more thrilling tales for your pleasure. Thank you and happy listening.